We are live.
We're live. What's up?
Welcome, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, long hours, early birds get the worm. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Those Two Nerds podcast, episode 12. Already coming out the gate with some likes.
Jason, thanks for the likes, bro.
And just going to be, this is episode 12.
Episode 12.
So that means we've been going for 3 months.
3 months. This is our 3-month anniversary. That's 3 there.
Yeah. Was that like the shocker?
It was kind of like the shocker.
Yeah,
it was like Spider-Man was trying to do Spider-Man stuff, but
But episode 12, clever name, because we've had some baller names. What about Second Breakfast? And I'm gonna let all you viewers at home try to guess what movie that is from, and probably in about 15-20 minutes maybe we'll reveal the answer
without googling, by the way.
Yeah, don't Google what about Second Breakfast.
And if you don't know, you have to stop watching.
You have to stop watching and here, I'll give you a hint. It's going to take you about 3 hours.
Almost 3 hours.
Actually, no, because if you don't watch the right movie, it's going to take about 6 to 9.
Oh gosh, Sunday afternoon, man.
So how was the weekend? What was everything going on this weekend? What were you up to?
Oh man, I'm trying to get caught up on this whole 31 Halloween type movies in 31 days. I'm 5 behind. I've made some headway. I'm in the middle. I was watching Overlord before you came over. I don't know if you've seen it, but every time I watch that movie, it makes me want to play Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein's a good game, so I mean, you would not be disappointed.
It's a great game. Let's see. I picked up a bunch of new stuff on the Switch. They were not all Switch exclusives. In fact, I don't think any of them really were. Picked up The Witcher 3. I think that was the big release this week. And I have to tell you, it's some kind of sorcery that game even runs on the Switch.
Oh, Witcher's a graphic intensive game. I know a lot of people with high-end PCs even sometimes struggle to run it. But it's a beautiful game.
I didn't need it, right? Because I already had it on PS4.
Yep.
But it was more like a curiosity thing, and I really like the physical editions of the Switch games. So it came with a whole bunch of cool little stuff inside the box, like a little map and some stickers, and it actually runs very, very well. And if you're the type of person who travels a lot, and you like to play these types of games, or you have a long commute on a bus or whatever, and you're looking at an hour plus a day, it's fantastic in handheld.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous in handheld.
For sure.
You can see where they had to cut some things in the docked mode, but not so much that you're like, man, I hate this. I think it caps out at about 30 frames per second, which is, But we're already kind of used to that with Switch technology, so it's not terrible. I would say for a review on it, if you have another means to play it and you don't want to take it on the go, then get it somewhere else. But if you like to travel, or the Switch is your only means to get it, then do yourself a favor. Go drop the $60, go buy it, or wait for a sale.
Oh, for sure.
Put it on your Christmas list. Put it on your birthday list. Steal the money from your girlfriend's wallet while she's sleeping. Whatever you got to do.
It don't matter.
Just buy The Witcher.
Yeah. And overall, it's a great game. Tons of positive reviews. I mean, you would definitely not be disappointed where you're, however much it is, 60, 40, 50 bucks, whatever it is. And a lot of times, like Steam sales and stuff like that, they do the whole collection for like $50.
Yeah, it's all of it. It's the entire
DLC and all.
All the DLC and everything's included. $60 is a lot. It is, but again, if you have no other way to play it, or if you just like to play a lot of handheld games, then I'd say 100% pick it up. It's got so much content in it. I actually started streaming the PS4 version last night, and I'll be honest, I started playing it a while back. I couldn't remember what I was doing, so I started over.
Yeah, there you go.
And I didn't realize how good the game was.
Yep. And kind of speaking of, getting new games, Riot Games, any that may know this company, it is the owners of League of Legends. So that for the longest time, Riot Games was just strictly, we are League, and you start to think, why are you just not Riot Game? Because they only had one game until now. Their 10-year anniversary came out this past weekend, and it was huge. Everything that was going on. We saw a lot of new things like card games. So a League of Legends type card game that is going to try to compete with Magic, Hearthstone, stuff like that. Probably going to still be the same premise, free to play. But if you want to drop money on packs, you get more, and vice versa. Also, FPS. They're going to make a RTS type game. They're going to basically try to make a first-person shooter out of it. Not using the same characters from League, but it's in first-person shooter like Overwatch. So it's got that cartoony vibe. Should be good. Should be interesting. And, they're finally giving that S on the Riot Games, something to market.
Instead of Riot Game.
Yeah.
They got more than one now.
So
that's always exciting. Competition is a good thing.
Yep.
And I think that while I am a huge advocate of Steam, love Steam. Probably not nearly as much as your dad loves Steam, but I love Steam. I think it's great, especially now that I have a computer that actually can run some games.
Yep.
But to see that Epic is starting their own store and they've got a lot of games and they're giving out free stuff. Now Riot Games, they're probably not free, but they're competition is a good thing, and giving us options where to play stuff and how to play stuff is a good thing. Yeah, it's more passwords you got to remember or whatever, but that's why I've been such a big supporter of this whole idea behind Stadia. And I think that Google's going to... This is my prediction now. We'll see how true this prediction comes.
Oh, for sure.
I think that Stadia is going to basically invent the technology, and then the other companies are going to make it better.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day. After the podcast, on the way back home from the also delicious Canes.
Oh, so good.
That we thought that Stadia was going to be not really a train wreck. It's going to lay the foundation of, okay, this is the premise, this is what we're shooting for, and then these other competition companies are going to come in and basically try to do it better, which I'm fine with. And I think that's kind of what Google wants, because what Google's going to do is they're going to fall. They're gonna have a little. They're gonna trip.
They have the money to fail, though, right?
They could mess up a few projects, and still not even be heard.
And Google has come out with so many cool projects, and then people like them, and they're great, and they work.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we don't want to do that no more.
For sure.
How many projects has it been? I mean, it's been every bit of about 4 or 5 really decent projects. I can't remember some of their names off the top of my head. But I think this is going to kind of fall into another one of those things. But maybe they just want some of that software money. Because in premise, it sounds great. The idea and concept of buy your game online, you pay your money or whatever, and then within seconds you're streaming on your computer, you're streaming on your TV or your iPad or your Android tablet or your phone. And now that phones have connectivity with controllers and stuff, it's not going to matter a lot, though, because the Stadia controller connects to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole thing with Google Stadia, and for the viewers that don't know exactly what it is, essentially it is a streaming platform that allows you to stream video games using your internet. And what Google is accordingly saying, that you don't need this high-end PC, you need something with good internet. And
that's it. Anything with a Chrome browser is what they're claiming.
Yeah, I mean, so, you're going to be rocking, 60 frames over 100, whatever game it may be.
Well, and this is how they get their money, right? So there's a free version of Stadia. It costs you no money. You just buy the games you want to buy, and you're done. You stream on whatever device you want. You can use whatever controllers or mouse and keyboard, because some of these games are better with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
But it's free. It doesn't cost anything. But you're capped, right?
Yeah.
You are capped at 30 frames per second at 1080p.
Yeah.
And if you buy into I think it's like $9 or $10 a month. So it's right around competitive prices of Xbox Gold and PS, Plus. They're going to have a free game system much like those, and you pay your money, you get those games pretty much forever. But you're also allowed to have supposedly 4K streaming capabilities and 60 frames per second.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, but the target internet that they're saying that you need to hit these just sounds not likely.
In my opinion, I mean, to stream games, especially people that are streamers, and, when you're streaming or doing any kind of stuff, in your mind, you're using a lot of internet. I mean, there has to be some kind of CPU usage that's going down, even if you are just using basically internet. It's going to be one of those things where, like I said, it's either gonna be great
Yeah.
or it's going to fail. I think it's, I don't want to say fail because I don't think that's, I think it's more of a foundation setter.
I think so too, and maybe they'll sell the tech or their infrastructure at least to Microsoft or Nintendo or all of them. I mean, let them all use it.
Who I was going to say, who would you most prefer to have if like they could only give the tech to one major gaming company? Who would you want?
Just because I'm biased, I'd say Nintendo, and that's because I'm a big Nintendo fan. I'm not crazy about. I mean, Sony has their own thing, right? Like they've got their own streaming platform. By the way, they lowered the price of their streaming down to $9.99 a month now, and for a limited time, God of War and something else.
It's Uncharted.
Uncharted,
3,
something else is on there too for a limited time. So if you have not played the games and you're like, man, and you got good internet, I've tried the PS Now and it's not terrible as long as you have good internet.
For sure.
If you have good download speeds, you're good. So if you haven't played it and you feel like you could get through it in about a month, give it a shot for $10. You can be playing God of War. But back to the other thing is that they all have their own thing. Microsoft has a ton of money, but I'd rather see it go to Nintendo because they're kind of like the laughing stock of the video game world. And if they had something that the other boys didn't have, besides just this really cool thing,
oh yeah,
then I could also see them incorporating into future Switches mobile tech.
Mm-hmm.
The ability, because it's basically a mobile machine, right? It's got mobile technology in it. But imagine if that was able to connect to your 4G or whatever, and you could go out and supposedly play all these games at streaming qualities or whatever.
It's one of those things where it's so hit or miss. I mean, I love Nintendo too. I love Nintendo. It's a great company. I love what they do with the whole multiplayer scene, solo campaign games. I mean, they're just an amazing overall company. The biggest thing is I don't want to see them get it. I want if they're gonna give it out, to me personally, I would want to see companies like Microsoft or Sony. Heck, even I want to see Intel dip into it, or even I mean, you might see Epic Games get it. I mean, I think it would be that's a long shot, but I don't know, just people.
There is also the possibility that it will work, right? Like
there is
this small everything that it says it's going to do,
yeah,
and it's sweet, and it actually rivals to make Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo and all these other companies do better.
Yeah, and that's what we need, because I feel like right now we are in a stale gaming environment to where no game that comes out really, I mean, you don't see the hype for it as much. I mean, you saw a lot of hype for Zelda because everybody's a Zelda fan. You saw a lot of hype for God of War and, other exclusives.
But these are sequels.
Yeah.
Right? These are sequels within established franchises.
Yeah.
When's the last time
a random company
that an actual game has come out, blew up the critic charts, blew up the players' expectations that didn't have Mario, Zelda, God of War, Grand Theft Auto, that wasn't already an established thing? I mean, when's the last time?
It'd probably have to be Fortnite. It'd have to be.
I would say probably. That's probably
Fortnite,
one of the most interesting properties that's
for
come out
sure.
in a while.
For sure. And I think that with all that, I mean, Fortnite's doing it best, okay? And especially, kind of even on the same topic of Chapter 2 coming out this past Tuesday, which everybody was going nuts over, new map, everything, and we won't dive too much into it because I know you are the Fortnite god over here, and oh wait, no, just kidding, you don't like Fortnite, but
I appreciate the game for what it is.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that they took a game that was basically in the beta test and made a ton of money off of it,
and they're still making a ton of money, and it looks fun. I've tried it once. I've played one game.
I know you've kind of switched over. You're kind of doing League now.
Yeah, the overall, like, there's a lot of FPS drops, still a lot of major bugs in the game. But the nice thing is they're constantly, every single day, doing these hot fixes and patches and everything, but they're so small. That's what I love about Fortnite. I think the biggest update I've ever had on Fortnite was like 15 gigs, which is a lot. But that was when the new map was released. A lot of these updates are like 5-10 minute updates, even on the crappiest of crappy internets. And that's what the nice thing is. That's what I love so much. And I think, getting back on the topic, I think that Google's going to lay this foundation. All these companies are going to get their own form of it, and then Google is going to learn off them and then make it better.
It's really hard to say. I mean, I can see it going a couple of different ways. The thing I think is going to hurt Google at first is, we'll say hypothetically that their tech works.
Yeah.
So that's problem one. Problem two would be they don't have any exclusive games yet. They have nothing that's exclusive.
Would that be crazy to hear? Google exclusive.
No, actually it wouldn't. I'd be excited to hear that. Now, there's a couple games that are going to be coming to Stadia that won't be coming to other systems for another month or so. I believe the Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be on Stadia.
Yeah.
But I think within a month or two it'll be on Steam. So it's not really, it's a timed exclusive. And I'll be honest, that was one of the biggest reasons why I'm like, I'll try it out.
I mean, why not? What do you have to lose?
Nothing, because I mean, they're going to get my money from the game.
Any nerd that really is into this whole gaming scene, or even just new development, like with EGX 2019 that happened this past week, like everybody is like, you see, what's crazy is you see so many nerds now, and it's awesome. Like, the nerds are now like the equivalent of like jockeys in an 80s movie. Like, they walk up to you and be like, which KD8, bro? You ain't nothing. And like, it's awesome to see, because you see all these cons, and people are starting to realize that the whole nerd scene is not just for these geeky people that never leave their house. I mean,
it's not just for us weird fat guys.
Yeah,
right. It's for everybody.
Yeah. So, and it's nice, and I think with the whole power of, I mean, almost anybody's playing video games now. Everybody's trying them out. You're gonna see so many more people jump onto these games, jump onto things that are streaming services. Why do people watch Netflix? Because the fact that they can watch anything and binge watch anything, vice versa with Google, they're gonna be able to stream any game they want.
And that's the thing. People are already used to the streaming platform. You guys can all thank Netflix for that. And even though I think Netflix has kind of fallen off as far as what they offer for their monthly subscription anymore, to say that they don't have good content would be unfair, and it would be untrue. I don't know that it still justifies the cost.
Yep.
But they basically, a long time ago, put their toe into this whole, like, well, we're going to just create exclusive content. And my God, I don't know if you could go check that out.
It was beautiful. Well,
they have a ton of exclusive content.
El Camino that just came out from Breaking Bad. Go watch that movie. It's insane if you ever watch the Breaking Bad franchise. It's crazy. I mean, you really can't go wrong right now. And I think the nice thing about Stadia, I'm going to say it wrong 10 times today.
At least.
It's the simple fact that people are going to see their dollar go farther. And if it works anything like a Blockbuster and that kind of thing, you can only have so many games downloaded at one time. I think that'd be great. How many times?
I don't think that's just it, though. I don't think you download anything.
Yeah, but
I don't think that they've even mentioned that download is an option. Yeah. I kind of hope that it is an option, especially for the people who have high-end PCs who would rather try to use their tech to play the game versus using Google's tech.
Yeah.
But I mean, their machines have to be better than anything we can build at home, right?
Oh yeah.
And everything communicates through their server, which is weird. But as far as I know, no, I don't think that you are limited. Now, I'm not sure how many concurrent streams you get.
Yeah.
So if you have, like, a couple kids in your house,
it'll probably be the default too.
I would hope so. But you want to talk about game sharing all of a sudden becoming a whole lot better when you got a couple people playing games together. You buy it once, I think. I'm not sure really how that's going to work, because that's questions that they haven't answered yet. First of all, like, how many concurrent streams can you have?
Yeah.
Can you have secondary users on your account for, like, families and stuff that have more than one kid that's playing something? Because you don't need the full stream of data on some games, and it'd be kind of cool for them to be able to go and play Minecraft wherever the hell they want to, and you only had to buy the game once.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be, all these questions will be answered soon, and I think it's great. And, the viewers that are at home right now, or, in the car, driving to work, please be safe, by the way. Don't text and drive. We are beautiful young men, but we're not that beautiful.
No.
It's not worth your life for it. But give us your guys' thoughts. What you guys think that the the whole platform's going to be like, what you want to see out of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
and
have a list of things I personally would like to see. One, I want to see that it works.
Yeah.
Two, my thing is much like Steam or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like that if I buy the game, I can only play it on Stadia. But I don't like that about PlayStation or anything. I don't like that. I'm kind of spoiled now in this whole Movies Anywhere, where I buy the movie once, I can watch it wherever the hell I want. If I want to watch it on Amazon Video Prime service or on my Apple TV, I don't have one, but my brother does. Or if I want to watch it on Vudu, or if I want to watch it on whatever the hell I want to watch it on, I like having that option.
Yeah, of course.
But I already have a Google account, right? It's not like I got to create a brand new account to play Stadia. But I did get the Founders Pack. They released the Larian Studios is the company that they got the rights to Baldur's Gate 3. For those who don't know, Larian Studios is the company behind Divinity and Divinity 2.
Yep.
Probably two of the best all-time ever of those genre-style RPG games.
Yeah.
Maybe second only by Pillars of Eternity, which was another great game. So I know that Baldur's Gate is in very capable hands.
Yeah, and
November 19th.
That's when
Stadia launches the Founders Packs on November 19th. They revealed the date on Larian Studios' website.
Yeah.
They said that they were pretty excited about it launching, too. I pre-ordered the Founders Pack. So if you're waiting until the 19th, like, I want to try this out on the 19th.
Yeah.
No. You have to pre-order the Founders Pack. If you don't have the Founders Pack, you can't get in.
Yep.
And it's not going to be open to the public for a little while, and I think that's so that way you can kind of see what kind of bandwidth and stuff they're pulling. I'm not sure how many Founders Packs they have started with, but for the cost of it, and I don't remember the exact dollar amount, you get their special controller, which it kind of looks like an Xbox controller, but not a square. It supposedly has some really cool online features and stuff to interact with Google. I'm really excited to see their online features. I think that'll be cool.
Yeah.
It also comes with a Google Chromecast Ultra, which they said you'll need if you want to play it on your TV, especially if you're trying to do anything in 4K.
Yeah.
So I looked at the price of just those two items in my head, because I looked at what the controller cost to just buy an extra one, and I looked at you're basically paying for those two items.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're giving you, inside the box, you're getting 3 months of their Prime Plus service thing with like the free games or whatever, and they're giving you a trial thing for your friend to let them try the Prime free cool service thing and the thing, and so that's about $60 worth of month-to-month subscription stuff plus your stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really go wrong, it doesn't sound like, and the
game that's launching with it, as far as one of the free ones, is Destiny 2 with all the content, including the brand new Shadowkeep that just came out.
Yeah.
So if you're like, well, I don't know look, if you haven't jumped on the Destiny bandwagon, you're like, man, I'd kind of like to try that. I feel like
this
is as good a chance as any as you're going to have.
Just
and if the whole software sucks, you're not really out anything, because the controller is USB capable. I think you can plug it into about any damn thing you want to plug it into.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chromecast, believe me, you'll find use for the Chromecast. It's actually really useful if you don't have one.
Oh, I loved it.
So you're not really out anything, just trying it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it because like Roku and some other like smart TVs have like kind of like abandoned Twitch as an application after a certain point. So like me being a big Twitch person, Chromecasting it to my TV is always awesome. I
love it.
And anything that I want, YouTube or so on and so on.
Jason asks, will Baldur's Gate 3 be multiplayer?
I would have to assume,
I honestly don't know.
I would have to assume yes. Because if you want to release a title like, I mean, I guess it's not in Google's hands.
Was the original Baldur's Gate multiplayer? I know Neverwinter was. Neverwinter Nights.
I know Baldur's Gate 2 was.
Okay.
I think so. You might be able to play.
It might be listed. I'm not 100% sure. I would say, given Larian Studios games Divinity and Divinity 2, I'd say probably. Mm-hmm. I'd be kind of disappointed if it wasn't now. As far as cross-platform and
who knows?
I have no idea if Steam kids are going to be able to play with Google kids, or because it's coming to consoles and everything.
Ew,
eventually.
Those Google kids.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing, now we can call them like, Google kids. So when Stadia launches on the 19th, I'll be streaming something.
Yeah.
just to, first of all, one, to see if it even works, and two, to see what the ratio of bandwidth to upload to download, and see if that works.
You need at least fiber.
You need at least your firstborn child
yeah.
and 1,000,000 gigabytes of data.
Yeah. Kind of quick appreciation to the 2-month subscriber. Guess what? He has subscribed for 2 months. It's pretty amazing. You know?
Thank you for subscribing to
I always get
this hack at League of Legends.
Hey, I'll put it this way. And for those that don't know League of Legends, it is a grind of a game, especially in ranked, but known for being one of the most toxic communities, almost close to Counter-Strike and other games like that. League is the most like rewarding / I want to break my monitor in half over my knee, because you could be playing ranked play all day, and this is the worst part. You hit a certain point where I'm at, where if you win a game, you go ahead, but if you lose everything you lose. If you just lost the next game, you lost everything you just earned from the last game. So I actually posted kind of like a meme on Twitter of Shia LaBeouf from Holes yelling 0, and I put in the caption, "How much LP did I gain today?" And he's just sitting there yelling 0. So because it's so frustrating. Like the other night, I'm about to hit Plat, which Plat in League is you're among like the top 12% to play the game. And once you hit that point, out of everybody that plays it in the North America, and I'm just about to hit it. I am 1 game away from promotional series.
He's also 1 game away from raging and putting his fist through his computer monitor if he loses.
So I'm playing, and you know the night's going well. I'm on a 9-game win streak. Like I am about to grind this. I'm 1 game away from promos. I lose. I'm like, all right, no big deal. You know, I've won 9 games. Eventually, they're going to have to give me some kind of crappy teammate so I can not carry. The next game, I lost. The next game after that, I lost again. I didn't win another game for like 6 games. I was 1-6 after a flawless start.
Now beware. The other mouse that we're using is on the stop streaming button, so if you have to click it...
Oh, I'm not scared. Oh, if you click like that.
There you go. Here, let me see this for a second. I'm finding out that my like stuff is going through as like my real name, and that's fine, but for some reason it's not set up to like it as.
You don't get to control the mouse. We talked about this.
It's way over here on this side. It's fine.
You've been grounded from the first time we ever let you use the mouse.
I did. I totally turned him off.
You give somebody power and they abuse it.
I did. I totally turned you off.
You sometimes do, man. It happens.
So
happens to everybody. So I don't know if you heard about the release today. It's exclusive for me and you. We're gonna get some tacos today because my stomach is grumbling, and if it goes any louder, the mic might pick it up. So hopefully the gain's down. So what's well, we are at that like 28-minute mark. We said about 20 minutes. I'm gonna give everybody that's just kind of tuning in what is Second Breakfast? Do you think he knows about Second Breakfast? What movie is that from? It is a quote. What about Second Breakfast?
Yeah, Jason actually got it.
Jason got it.
Pretty much right off the rip.
I mean, he should. Everybody that doesn't have it, you need to go watch the movie. Only after this podcast, Wait.
You can dual screen it. That's fine.
No dual screening. We need your full attention.
So we slacked. We still haven't seen Joker.
I think I'm just gonna pirate it from here on out. I'm tired of it.
We should just go. I just don't know why we just don't go. Going to the movies is like such a task sometimes,
Well, and plus, I mean, if we go during the week, we're gonna be driving in traffic, and then we want to beat our face in because the movie theater by us, the traffic, it's insane no matter what time. We could go at 1 a.m. when there's literally everybody asleep, and you'd hit traffic.
It's less terrible, but
it's still bad. It's
still pretty bad, but yeah, it's definitely less terrible.
But yeah, I mean, I think Addams Family, because I think that's releasing here soon.
I'd like to see that.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna be so bad.
And I'm such a huge fan of the show too, like the original show. I like the movies too. I think the movies they did were pretty good, but that's because I was a horny 12-year-old kid when Christina Ricci was Wednesday Addams. So, she's still hot, by the way.
Well, congratulations. I hope it works out for the best of you two. Uh, oh my gosh. So, we're gonna take some time here. Kind of want to do something new. I've just kind of been, processing it in the mind. We're just gonna ask a few questions. It's like a Q&A, but for you guys. Favorite go-to Taco Bell meal. And if you don't eat Taco Bell, well, fuck you.
I've only heard like a couple people who don't like Taco Bell.
How can you not like Taco
At
Bell?
least like a little bit. And maybe it's because they worked there or something. But, I had a friend, he worked at a pizza place. And
I still eat
he
pizza.
never stopped eating pizza. He still eat pizza 2 or 3 times a week. Like,
Yeah.
he loved pizza. He worked there for like 12 years, man.
If, have you, and I'll put it this way, you may be right. But if you guys have not tried the Taco Bell breakfast yet, like, do it immediately.
Just go.
And don't think
they
you can
serve it to what, like 11, 11:30?
Oh, I know. It's so beautiful. And they're so nice. They're like, hey, I can get you a crunch wrap.
Yeah, their breakfast crunch wraps are the best.
Yeah.
It's the best thing they have on their whole menu.
And, hey, we're going to get through this. Whether I starve out in this chair or not. But hey, the show must go on.
So, I just finished watching Child's Play, the new one, the remake.
Yeah.
And Mark Hamill does the voice of Chucky. By the way, he's brilliant. He's probably one of the greatest voice actors
Oh, well, he played Joker.
ever. The movie was weird. It wasn't bad. It was just weird. Aubrey Plaza is in the movie. I don't know if you know who that is, but she's one of the most awkward people probably in all of Hollywood.
Who's Chucky's wife's name?
In the original series is Jennifer Tilly,
Okay.
and she's kind of weird too. But yeah, so Aubrey Plaza's in the movie, and I was watching the movie, and I didn't recognize her at first because she was playing like a normal mom. Like every movie I've ever seen her in, she's kind of bizarre. So if you have a moment, you guys should really go look up interviews with Aubrey Plaza, and you'll see why I say that she's probably the most awkward person in Hollywood. There was an interview she did. I want to say it was on, I don't know if it was Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel, one of those shows. And like they first came on, and they're like, "Hey, thanks for coming," and her response was, "Yep." Like, what? Yeah, and he goes, "That's not the appropriate response for that." And she goes, "Hello."
Hello. Oh my gosh.
So when I saw that she was in this movie, I was trying to place 2 and 2 together. She was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World too. She played the one dude's sister who like talked a lot and swore a lot. She's awesome. So she was like a highlight of the movie. Mark Hamill was definitely a highlight of the movie.
Yeah.
And I'd say like the first like 40 minutes was kind of like it was really hard to get through that first 40 minutes. But that last 20 to 25 was really good.
I watched Scream this morning. That was the movie of
the
choice.
original?
Yes. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and what's funny is I've never really seen Scream, and I'm sitting there and I the first scene of the movie. If you've seen Scary Movie,
Oh yeah,
it's literally that scene.
that's where the Scary Movie came from.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
Scream came first, and then
it was
Scary Movie.
just so funny. I'm sitting there and I'm just laughing because when he stabs her like in the heart or like chest area. All I can think about is the prosthetic boob that like comes out of it. Yeah,
coming out.
silicone
Because that
boob.
was Carmen Electra.
Yeah.
Was it Carmen Electra or Pam Anderson?
I think it was Carmen Electra.
Electra.
Yeah, and because she's running out in like lingerie type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just really funny. So I couldn't take that whole first opening scene, and then Deputy Duty, but instead it's the same actor.
He's like Deputy Doopies.
Yeah.
Deputy Doopies. Is it the same guy?
It's the same actor.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's the same actor.
David Arquette?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's the same.
I guess I never noticed.
It's the same actor. And I was just really thoroughly enjoying it. Like, that's a good movie.
The first Scream?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the first one and the second one and the fourth one are all really good.
Yeah.
The third one was like, meh, it wasn't terrible, it just wasn't great.
Yeah. And it's a good movie, and overall, like, I watched it, and, I'm trying to get on this Halloween like watch some
Dude, you
movies.
gotta be 12 movies back. Easy.
What's today's date?
Today is the 20th.
Like 20. I'm
Well,
just
you
kidding.
had to watch at least a couple.
And I have, and they've been great. I've loved every movie that I've watched, and I found myself the other night driving to the gas station to grab some caffeine, and
How nice is that?
oh,
That little Kroger. Down
20
there.
yeah 24-hour fresh
All the
eats. Like
time.
I once went in there like 12:30 at night, and they make like the deli because they have like a little like lunch shopping thing in there, and they always make like a whole bunch of like these little 6-inch subs.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with their, like their food restaurant thing. I thought that
It's
was
all right. I mean, it's not as good as maybe some of you guys know Sheets.
Oh yeah.
Sheets is the bomb. They have the best mac and cheese around town. But like I went in there, and I'm gonna give you, so I'm gonna give you 3 genres of what I listen to, and I want you to guess, because you're never gonna believe it. So you have rock. Rock was one of them, and it don't matter what kind of rock, just rock. Some like EDM, like Marshmello and Skrillex. I was Skrillex.
He was listening to the dubstep, y'all.
Yeah, and Christmas music. Which one do you think I was listening to?
Probably Christmas music because you're a freaking weirdo.
I was, dude. I was sitting there, and like, you don't really understand how much you like something. And I'm not the biggest fan of Christmas music. Like, what's funny is I don't listen to like a lot of Christmas music.
Dude, it is October. We haven't even ate turkey
Dude,
yet.
it was freezing.
It doesn't matter.
It was cold outside.
It's too early for Christmas music, and if you're listening to Christmas music this early, the hell's wrong with you?
All I gotta say is I listened to the most controversial Christmas song ever. Baby, It's Cold Outside.
Oh, is that the one where they say it's about like date rape or something, and
It was basically like Bill Cosby's story. Like,
I didn't hear one mention of pudding pops in there at all.
Ice cream pudding pops. Yeah, but I was just sitting there, and like I was thoroughly enjoying it. I had the biggest smile on my face.
I bet you did.
And I was
'Cause
like,
you're a weirdo.
And I was like, man, I'm going in here. I'm gonna grab a energy drink, grab some chips.
He was so sad he couldn't find any eggnog.
That's hurtful. Your comments hurt sometimes. But it was awesome. I find myself in this like I'm in a stale thing right now. Maybe I have depression. Like I don't know.
Well, maybe you need the Christmas music.
If the viewers at home, you ever just like, because we both drink a lot of soda and
clearly,
yeah, we both eat a lot of like fast food or anything like
Yeah.
that. It kind of gets stale where
you get tired of eating the same thing pretty much
over
all
and
the
over
time.
again, and it just somebody would be like, "What do you want?" And when you say, "I don't know," nothing sounds really that good. I'll eat whatever. You really don't know because nothing sounds good. But when you find that thing that you've been missing in your life, like today, I ate oatmeal. I never eat oatmeal, and it was so good.
It's because you don't eat it, right?
Yeah.
If you eat it all the time, you're like, oh god, more oatmeal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get in that kind of rut too, where you get tired eating sandwiches.
Yeah.
You just want to eat anything that's not a sandwich.
Yeah.
Pasta, soup.
Salad. We are now officially in soup season.
Yeah.
Chili.
I do love me some chili.
But I mean, so right now I'm currently going through this whole detox, like drinking more water, not so much soda. I mean, even though I've just literally promoted that I got an energy drink the other day.
This is a couple days ago.
But
this is before the detox plan, y'all.
But like the whole sleep schedule fixing of like, hey, I'm not gonna go to bed at 5 a.m. because I've been up for the last 24 hours, and then so it's been a struggle because not only is it affecting the stream schedule, but it's like affecting my daily life because
it's affecting his daily life.
doing nothing is my daily life. But it's been fun.
Sorry, we haven't had one boner joke on the show since we started. That's the one we got. We hit our quota. We're done. We don't need any more for another 3 months.
Another 3 months. So that's a 3 months tradition now. Mark it down on the stream. Clip it. Whatever you got to do. So I highly recommend to anybody that is like trying to like get off soda, because that is my biggest habit.
Water.
Water, just always keep it around.
Water is the key. I'm telling you, it is.
Yeah.
If I have water around me all the time, I'll drink it.
Yeah.
The second that, because we get the big jugs of water, the second that those are empty, I'm running down to the gas station getting like 7 Mountain Dews and seeing how many of them I can drink at once before the
Just
water
like doing
comes.
like a Stone Cold, just bashing together.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
because Stone Cold said so.
Yeah. I think it's because I miss the days where like you could drink like a Mountain Dew and maybe you even drank 2, and you actually got a caffeine buzz.
And you were like, "Whoa, I am Cornholio."
I feel tired now when I drink 2 Mountain
Yeah, I
Dew.
drink one. I'm like, I could go to sleep.
High fructose corn syrup. I'm going to sleep now.
It's nappy time.
Remember Star Wars?
I remember.
But
if you guys haven't seen that episode of South Park with the member berries, you should see that.
what is it? The pepper? What do they say? Petra's Farm, like something or
Google should give me money.
why? Why should Google give you money?
Because I am really good at talking to my friends and buying stuff that they didn't really want to buy. Jason just like, sorry, I had to call my dad, and then I went to go order Stadia. I hate you. And I think it's because of that whole...
Did you ever think, maybe, just for a second, that they should have used the discount code that we got from Google? Because we are now... no, I wish we would work for Google.
I don't think we got a discount
We're
code.
applying. We're applying. We're gonna mark this down. We're gonna clip it. You're gonna be the one salesman, and we're gonna get Stadia for free.
Maybe. Yeah, Jay, like I said, I don't know how good the service is, but the Chromecast and the controller pretty much cover the cost of the whole thing. You'll have to just buy the games as you want them. I'm not sure how long Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be exclusive to it. But, like I said, at least for 3 months, you can play all the Destiny you want to.
Yep. All right. I think it's time, Kev. I think it's time for the rapid fire, not so rapid fire questions, because I talk a little slow.
Yeah, my brain processes information pretty slow, too.
So are you ready? I've been thinking about these questions as you're sitting here talking about, your
About Stadia.
sponsorship.
I feel like I've been talking about Stadia all day, but I'm really excited about it.
It's a big thing. I mean, when there's not much going on in gaming news, that's probably the biggest thing right now.
Well, I mean, I forget how many games. I picked up that new Zombieland game, Double Tap, the road trip game, and it's... Do you remember that game I played on Xbox a lot? This twin stick shooter, the zombie game? I mean, I played that game a ton. I don't remember what it was called. Zombie Apocalypse or...
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now.
I keep hoping to find a game like that, and this game is okay. It's not that great. I'm really glad that it wasn't a full $60 retail game. It was only like $40. But it's still, it's okay. So I ended up picking up that. I picked up Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And I picked up The Witcher 3.
Yep.
Plus Ghostbusters and a couple other things that, from a while back.
All right. So I got a few questions for you.
So go hit me with your best shot.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So first question. Favorite video game to play when you were a kid on winter break?
Wow. On winter break, probably Link to the Past. I played the crap out of that game on winter break. Almost every winter break since I had a Super Nintendo up until I think we got whatever was after that.
Okay.
Yeah, I played a lot of
Favorite Halloween costume that you ever wore?
Ever?
Yeah.
That'd be a tough one. I'd probably have to say the Joker costume that I wore when Stephanie did all my makeup and stuff.
Okay.
Because it was absolutely terrifying.
Who's your favorite Joker? Say Jared Leto.
No, it's not Jared Leto.
Oh, darn.
It would probably be a toss-up. I mean, I like them all for different
It was
reasons.
a close tie.
And I haven't seen the new one to really compare, so
Yeah.
that's not fair. Maybe he does a fantastic job. Clearly, they're talking Oscars. But out of the ones I've seen, I'd go with Jack Nicholson.
So I saw this meme the other day, and we're going to get back to rapid fire questions, still about Joker. It was like all the Jokers like posing together, the cartoon one with Mark Hamill, the new one with Joaquin Phoenix, Heath Ledger, and then Jack Nicklaus. So they're all sitting there like it's like a selfie. And, one guy's like way higher up on the other. And it's literally like
I saw that.
in the background.
They included Jared Leto in that. Though,
yeah,
too,
but
and
one
then the dude off Gotham, the guy that's on Gotham. He was.
Oh, they didn't even have that. It was just like a little cartoon painting. They had Jared Leto on the back, like on his hands and knees, pretty much, holding the other guy up so he can be higher up in the picture. He's not even in the picture. Jared Leto got done so wrong.
I feel that if they had given him more screen time,
Yeah.
he could have maybe did more with it. And that's really a shame because the little bits I saw, I thought were okay, but with no real context to anything, he was just in there. And that's a shame because Jared Leto is actually a really good actor, and they didn't. I'd like to have seen all the scenes that they cut. I don't know that it's necessarily would have changed my opinion on him as being, out of all of them, he is definitely the worst one. I mean, even Cesar Romero is better than that guy. And that guy didn't shave his mustache when they put the makeup on him, so. That's
the way to do it. You got to look like a man. and a man's got to do what a man's got to do. Have you seen that show on Netflix? F is for Family?
Yeah.
That show is hilarious.
Hilarious.
It is so... I never really thought, like, I would get into a show like that. But it's like you... It's what you want, like, Family Guy to be, but better. In a way. But it is two types of comedy. Family Guy uses that whole fictional...
Oh, yeah. That fictional kind of reality, but fictional.
Yeah. And then F is for Family. You feel like that's real-world problems.
That show's, like, dirty, too.
Oh, it's bad.
It's very,
like
very
you can't watch it around your kids.
Don't let your kids watch that one for sure.
Actually, if you do, I mean, that's your parenting
that
choices.
Makes you
we
a
don't
bad
judge
parent.
you.
That's fine. I don't care. So I was watching Psycho last night, and I'm realizing that I've probably only ever seen the original Psycho maybe a couple of times. Have you ever watched the original black and white Psycho?
No.
So I was reading a little bit about it, and they said that when the movie came out, the critics were like, "We don't get it. It's kind of dumb." But the audiences that were going to the theater, and I thought this was really relevant for today, right? So the audiences that were going to the theater were all talking about it. Word of mouth was that the movie was fantastic, that it was scary, it was creepy, it was weird, it was different. Yep. It was not like something that you see all of the time. And based solely off of that, based solely off of the audience responses and the word of mouth, the movie became like a huge success. And the critics went back and redid their reviews with maybe different eyes, I'm not sure. And now it's considered one of the all-time best movies probably ever. It's in the Smithsonian, I think, now as being culturally significant, so that it's like preserved.
I was gonna say Psycho. I mean, Psycho's like if there was a Hall of Fame for movies, it's up there for sure.
Well, it's considered one of the best movies of all time. It's considered by many Hitchcock's best movie, and it's. Yeah. I mean, having watched it, I mean, this thing was. You got to remember, this is 1960 when this movie came out. There's a lot of, I guess, racy subject matter in it, as far as in the opening scenes of the movie. The main, well, you think she's the main character. She's in a bra hanging out with a dude that she was just having sexual relations with. Now they're all their parts are covered, but it's 1960. We hadn't really seen a lot of that, and the movie's still in black and white. The movie was very low budget. The whole shower scene where the girl gets it. I mean, the nudity is gone. There's no nudity in it, but that was never seen anything like that before.
I think my favorite movies to watch are scenes to watch are sex scenes in a silent film, where it just pops up. It's like, oh.
You put the subtitle on Pornhub? No, what's really funny about that is there's a person that's their job. To type the subtitles for they did an interview with her.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but it's funny, right? I mean, like, that's got to be a weird job.
Well, because the person that's sitting there, and nothing against the also legendary Hub, but
no, I mean, they've done a beautiful thing in the world.
The video itself is hilarious because, like, she takes her job so seriously,
very seriously,
and she's like,
I'm not sure how she could.
She's like, I need to make sure that the people that are hearing impaired or can't listen to it up real loud because they're at their parents' house, that they really feel the what's going on in the scene.
And here is the just the absolute kick in the junk to that whole statement. I have watched many a porn clip in my life.
Oh gosh.
And didn't give a shit what they were saying. Don't care what they're saying. I want to see what's happening. I don't need to hear them talking. We've all been there. We've all been there, right? You're on your TV or late at night, or it's on your phone or whatever. You just turn it down. You don't care what they're saying.
No.
You don't care at all what they're saying.
And we have AirPods now. You can literally Bluetooth it. Like,
Right.
You can leave one in.
That's why porn went from. I mean, they still make these like full length movies or whatever because for whatever reason, people are still buying DVDs and shit. I don't know.
All I gotta say is, if you bought because I was listening to a podcast.
If you're paying for porn in the year 2019, you're doing it wrong. There's so much free porn out there. You don't need to buy it.
Don't get me started about this topic, because there is people out there that are like younger girls. I mean, 18 and up or whatever. They're making these things called OnlyFans patrons and stuff like that.
And that's so smart because they're cutting out the porn industry entirely, and they keep all the money.
Well, there's no
They don't have any pimps.
There's no pimps.
It's them.
There's no. It's not really porn though, because it's technically considered what we call lewds, and they're not allowed to. So what's so funny about all this is
how
people
much money they make on it.
People are subscribing to these, like, it's the base level.
It's like $5 or something.
No, some people charge $25.
I've seen a lot that it's like $5 to start, and then they have tiers clear up to like $100.
I'm sitting there, I'm like,
and they've got people that are giving them $100 a month. But usually these girls, they'll do something special for the higher tiers.
Ooh.
I think the one girl, I think she calls them. She'll make a phone call to them for like 20 minutes every month. Everyone at that tier.
That'd be so weird.
I don't know what they talk about. I don't think it's dirty or whatever. I think she just calls to say hi and like thank you for doing that, or it's a video call or something.
Yes.
Which that's smart, right?
Well, have you heard about the girl that was selling her bathwater? Because that's what Jason just brought up.
Yeah, there was that one chick selling her bathwater a few months back.
It's like Bella Daphne or something like that.
She was a streamer, wasn't she?
She was a streamer, and basically, like, she does the whole, like, hentai anime, like, you know, the whole.
There are freaks in the world.
We'll call it the headshot, basically. And she played in this bathwater, fully, like, clothed. Obviously, she like showed pictures. And then literally scooped it up in like a little pink jar. I mean, like little mason.
But she was a full blown porn star too, though, right?
I don't know. I didn't dive into it.
I want to say yeah, but fact of the matter is, they've cut out the pimps, right? They've cut out the managers and all the other bull, and they found a way to make all the money. And honestly, I'm sorry if you're a dude and you're throwing money at these girls.
That's your problem.
You're dumb.
Yeah.
I'm sure that these. No offense to these girls out there in the world, because heck, I know a few of them that do it, and a lot of them like to do it because of costumes and designing and whatever. That's great. But some of these other ones, that's basically like, here's my vagina mostly, and here's my boobs mostly, and there's no art to what they're doing, but they call it art, and it's basically porn. And you're throwing money at them.
I just laugh.
You're kind of an idiot, and that's fine.
I just laugh, but
for the people that are doing like the cosplay stuff and whatever,
that's what a lot of them do.
And I respect that more than just basically I'm a hoe and I'm naked, then whatever. Because at least then you're supporting what they like to do. And this, all you're doing is paying their fucking electric bill, and making sure that they can eat steak.
Like, I think what's so funny is people all the time, and you know, not getting too deep into people's personal issues, are like, well, anybody that says this is wrong or that I'm a hoe, it just means I like my body. No, there's a way to go about it.
Man, if I looked like that, I'd sell my bathwater too. I'd sell my piss, my turds, old underwear, because someone out there will buy it, because there's a lot of weirdos in the world, man. So many weirdos.
I respect it. I respect the hustle, whatever. I mean, it's just like, you know, strippers and stuff like that. Like, it's all good.
Jason says, I'll give you my bathwater for steak. Bro, I'll tell you what. I'm going to skip the bathwater. We can just have a steak.
Together.
Like, just two straight dudes having a steak together over a nice bottle of wine.
We should go to brunch.
Maybe a little candlelight.
We should go to brunch, Kev.
Do they have steak on brunch? But, you know, I'm not trying to slander, but I'm sorry. If you're one of these suckers and you have that much disposable income, good for you. I'm glad that you have $100 to throw away every single month.
Speaking of disposable income, if you have Amazon Prime, link it with your Twitch. You get a free subscription to the channel. And hey, you know, if you're throwing $5 towards that person, I mean, I'll set up a private Snapchat, and for a sub, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. I'll take my shirt off. I'm not even wearing a shirt underneath this hoodie.
I'm gonna stay fully clothed.
Fully clothed? Okay, that seems fair.
Julia, no, you don't have to worry about getting jealous because I said two straight men. and you are invited to brunch if you want to. If you want to go,
But you have to sit on the opposite end of the table. They get
Yeah.
to share the booth.
me and Jay get to sit next to each other and hold hands.
Yeah. And, a slight peck on the cheek is harmless to the common folk.
It's only cheating if it's on the mouth.
I don't know how much I like that. Because I think if my significant other came with me, I kissed somebody, but it wasn't on the mouth, so it wasn't cheating.
Well, it depends on where you kissed them, right? Like on the cheek. I mean, I used to kiss my grandma on the cheek. I wouldn't consider that cheating. People in France kiss everybody on the cheek. So are they cheating with everybody that they kiss?
Tomato, potato, it's like the same thing. So, got any questions for me today?
Let's see. Rapid. Well, I don't really do that whole rapid question. So, the emergency thing is coming tomorrow, after the Magic,
Emergency.
the emergency banning.
Oh,
Emergency ban restricted announcements for Magic. It's going to be happening tomorrow, I believe. And this is after the last big tournament that they just had. Out of all the stuff in Standard, do you think anything's actually going to get the axe?
I mean, a lot of people are obviously calling for, what is it, Field of the Dead or something like that.
Yeah.
It definitely needs the axe because, I mean, if you get lucky, there's a lot of mana tutors and stuff like that in the game, and everybody's running 4. You'd be stupid not to.
40% of the field was Golos Field of the Dead in some variation.
It wouldn't be bad. So the card would not be as busted if it was a legendary land, because then you could only have one. And who cares if you're making 2/2s because you played a land? Congrats.
Jay chimes in, food tokens are OP. And he's not wrong. The reason that they're OP is they count as a card. And Oko, that's the other card they're saying actually might get banned. Oko is powerful because he just turns your stuff into guys, or he eliminates the biggest threat your opponent has on the side of the table, or he steals something good from your opponent and you give him a terrible thing that you don't need. His ramp up is huge. I mean, basically on turn that he comes down, there's very few players that can recover from turn 1 Gilded Goose, turn 2 Oko into food token, turn 3 into Wicked Wolf.
Yeah.
Like at that point, you pretty much lost unless you're playing some form of a control deck, or if you're playing aggro, that Wicked Wolf just ate your best thing on the table.
Yep.
And you still have food tokens to make it indestructible if you want to. So, but do I think that Oko needs banned? No, I don't. I think that you're going to see a lot more ban decks come alive if you don't.
It's like you said, and you kind of talked to me about it, was that Magic goes one or two ways. They either overban or underban.
Yep.
There's no in between. They're either gonna go ban a whole bunch of cards that were totally irrelevant, that's not the reason why the deck's good, or they'll go out and ban the thing that's not, like, there's no need for it. It's not important.
I don't want to see Golos get banned. That's the actual artifact creature that lets you dig for lands, and the reason that I don't want to see him get banned is because there's, other than Field of the Dead, there's no really unfair targets for him to tutor in Standard. In Modern, I think that he could be potentially good, so they're not going to ban him there. But without Field of the Dead, he's a mana fixer for 5. His ability requires you to play 5 colors of mana, and I've tinkered with it. I've actually had people quit games on me because I have a 5-color, it's a Happily Ever After deck that tries to win with the Happily Ever After card. But Golos is a huge part of that game plan.
Yeah.
But the second that I play Golos, they automatically assume I'm going to go get Field of the Dead, which isn't even in my deck. Yeah. I'm trying to play Golos without that because I think that he's a good card. I think he's an interesting style of card just simply because of what he does.
Yeah.
The tutoring part of it is irrelevant. In fact, I don't even know why that is on him.
Yeah. Why
that ability is on him. The ability to go get any land that you want. But Field of the Dead definitely is bad. And I don't think they're going to restrict it. They don't do that anymore. I think that it's probably going to get banned outright.
And I think that anytime Magic makes a ban on any card, which is very rare, they're doing it out of the best interest of the community, because there's nothing worse than you play a game and you just physically can't win because
40% of
there's no counter.
That's the problem. there's no cards in Standard right now that can consistently stop Field of the Dead.
But that's the thing, because even if your guy's on the stack, so if they drop a land, the guy comes out regardless. There is no option on that. The guy comes out regardless.
No, there's not even like
you can't counter it.
There was a card back in Innistrad that it said that basically tokens didn't enter the battlefield. Like, that would be a fix, right? That would be something. And if you make it an artifact or an enchantment, it's not like that deck now has no way to combat that. It's just that if you don't have a way to combat that, you lose because they shut down your whole strategy. And I always liked that about Magic was here's the thing, figure out how to deal with it, figure out how to beat it. But there's no cards to beat it. They took away Tectonic, the one thing that basically it was a land that any deck could play that let you destroy a non-basic land, and then each player got to go look for a basic land. It was fair, it was balanced. That doesn't exist. There's like 3 cards in Standard right now that can even handle the card. One of them requires you to play green-black, and another one requires you to play black-blue, and chances are by the time that you get to however much mana it is to cast the black-blue card, you lost anyway.
Yeah.
People are even trying with the black-blue planeswalker that prevents people from searching their libraries. Yeah, that helps. But if they have one field down and you have a 5 loyalty planeswalker, okay, all they have to do is drop umpteen zombies and then they kill your dude. Like, that's not an answer.
Yeah, you're getting benefited. Like I said, I mean, it's not legendary, so people can play as much as they want of the cards. So, you could have, if you got really lucky, you could have a 2, 3, and every time you play a land, you're dropping 3 2/2s on the battlefield.
They thought in their minds the thing that made this interesting, balanced, was the fact that it required 7 different types of land. But this is in a Standard with scry lands, gates, shock lands, and however many other lands are out there. Plus Field of the Dead counts itself, so in essence you only need that plus 6 different lands.
Yeah.
And the gate deck was already a thing. So they were just like, all right, we'll play this and then Circuitous Route. And then, oh my gosh, look, now that's basically, I'm going to get all these zombies pretty much every turn. And then they gave him an even better mana fixer in Fabled Passage.
We play Magic right now that's in a, it's in a format that, there's tons of lands. There's tons of non-basic lands. And people will play the most random of lands just because it works in the deck because it's all about that card.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating. And, who knows where it's going to go?
I think that for now, I'm hoping that Field of the Dead gets banned. I don't want to see Golos banned. I don't want to see Circuitous Route banned. I also don't want to see Oko banned. And I don't want to see Fires of Invention banned. Fires of Invention is going to be one of those cards that has not had the moment to shine yet because it does something very fundamental in Magic that is, it breaks the rules of Magic.
Yeah.
What's the main rule I always taught you besides drawing more cards than your opponent will usually win you more games?
More creatures equals bigger win.
That's also true. What's the other rule? And that is if you don't have to pay for your spells, it's unfair. So Fires of Invention is a 4-mana red enchantment that says that you can't play more than 2 spells per turn and you can only play spells on your turn. However, you don't have to pay any mana for your spells. All you have to do is have the correct number of lands out, not even the right color. So if you have a 4-mana card in your hand, you only have to have 4 lands down, and it's free. What this is letting people do in builds like Jund and stuff is once they've hit 6 land, they're dropping Garruk and Liliana, or they're dropping Liliana and Chandra in the same turn. Like, that's 12 mana worth of planeswalkers coming down the turn on the table for 0. It costs you nothing. If you have any sort of activated abilities on the table, you still have your 6 land to do those with. So that's the card I think potentially could.
There's a lot of cards. This set was busted.
This set had a lot of really good stuff in it. Let's see. Put 2 of those in my Forge EDH deck. Put 2 what? Field of the Deads? Is that what you're talking about?
Can you have? I thought you can.
You cannot.
But hey.
So I've seen a lot of really interesting strategies, like the Esper Stacks decks. They aren't catching on because this deck is it's that consistent, and they can just roll you over with zombies before you even really have a chance.
It has one of the highest win rates, too, overall.
It has no bad matchups, even against aggro, like hyper aggro.
Yeah.
The Rakdos decks and mono red decks, it's
if you get
They
three,
have life gain. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
they have life gain and Hydroid Crisis and stuff. Like it's so hard to beat them.
yeah, and it's one of those things where it's, I mean, in aggro you want to try to kill the person in under 5 turns. That's always your goal. So if they somehow ramp up to get that to that 7 land that they're looking for, you're done for.
The only card I've seen for that deck that you're talking about, Jay, that I think that you would dig is the new dwarf legendary creature Tolbrad.
Oh, he's so
He costs 3 red and a generic. He's a 2/4 creature. It says whenever any red source deals damage to anything that you control, it deals that much damage +2. So you'd be getting 2 extra damage off of every ping and activation from your God of the Forge. I think he's like the breakout card, right?
Oh, for sure.
He's not there yet because this Golos deck is such a pain in the ass. But the card that I was experimenting, there's a card in Standard that everyone's like, oh, he's terrible. He works amazing with Tolbrad, and that's Tybalt, the red planeswalker. He says that players can't gain life. He has a -2 loyalty ability to put a 1/1 red devil into play that when it dies, it deals 1 damage to anything. Him with Tolbrad is so good because that turns those into effectively 4 points of damage to anything that they block. And that's what you want in that type of deck. So the Cavalcade of Calamity decks are on the verge of being good. No, Fires actually wouldn't be bad in your deck at all. It lets you cheat. You can't use X's for your costs, but it doesn't matter. But you are limited. You can't play instants on your opponent's turn, and you can only play 2 spells on your turn. But it's a really cool card, and I think that it's gonna do some weird stuff in Modern, because Modern has access to so many more powerful cards.
For sure.
So, but I feel like that's probably what's going on with Magic. Is I wouldn't be shocked to see come tomorrow Oko maybe on the watch list.
A few other cards probably.
And that Field of the Dead, and maybe Golos. I hope they don't ban Golos, because I think that I think he by himself without Field of the Dead is an interesting and fun card.
Mm-hmm.
But with Field of the Dead, he's absolutely annoying.
Yeah, and I mean it's so hit or miss. I mean, hopefully they go about the right steps to removing cards or making decks less busted, but not also removing the whole fact of like what makes the deck busted. But I mean, we'll find out tomorrow. I don't know exactly when that gets released.
I'm not sure.
But be prepared, guys.
Yeah, my prediction is
we're in the end game.
Honestly, my prediction is I think it's going to go one of 2 ways. They're going to either ban Field of the Dead, and that's it, or they're going to ban Golos and Circuitous Route and leave Field of the Dead in Standard, and it's still not going to matter.
Yeah, and well, hopefully they make the right choice. You can only hope for.
And perhaps they have a really good answer in the following set. We don't know. I mean, they might have a good answer, and they hate. No, believe me, Wizards of the Coast does not like banning cards. But it's funny because Channel Fireball, not that we sponsor them or anything, and we are not sponsored by them, but I bought cards from them in the past. Their prices are, I wouldn't say great, but they're, they have almost everything.
Oh yeah.
They're better than Star City as far as customer service and stuff, and I'm not dissing those guys either. They're fine. But they had a thing on Facebook that said, just remember, if any card you bought within 30 days gets banned, we'll give you your money back. All you got to do is send the cards back. And that's a bold statement from a company. So if you're like, oh man, I just bought all this crap to make Golos, and then they ban the deck or they ban the cards in the deck, you can send them back to Channel Fireball and they will give you your money back for them.
Yeah, and that's good, because I mean, it's very rare that that any card gets banned. I mean, it's a rare occurrence, and that's how it has to be.
I don't think we've had one in Standard since
I wouldn't even know.
Saheeli. That one they had that combo. It was a red, white, blue combo. They banned an uncommon creature that basically exiled something, and when you combined it with Saheeli, it went into an infinite loop, and that was basically like the whole deck was just this infinite loop. So they banned that, but before that, I don't even know. Modern, they ban them and stuff all the time, but so yeah, I guess we went on a little Magic tangent. I was just curious what your thoughts are. Have you played much Arena?
I've played a little bit of Arena. I have a competitive deck. And it does wonders. I mean, I'm still winning probably like 65-70% of my games. especially in the lower elos because you're just running into people that literally are drooling on their monitors.
I'm at platinum rank right now.
I would say once you hit about gold, it slows down. But it's a good deck. It's competitive.
Bizarre decks too in the higher tiers. Now you still play people that have like the tier 1 decks. They have the Golos
And that's for the climbers.
But you'll play these guys that when they get to a certain tier level, they play decks that they actually want to play, and their decks are good. But when you're swimming in a field of 80% Golos players on the ladder because that's the deck to beat right now, until you hit a certain tier level, now they actually can show that they're innovative deck builders and stuff and play stuff that's actually fun for them instead of, well, I just play Golos just to get up here.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, you have tons of awesome things that are in the set, tons of awesome decks. I mean, there's so many. There's even Mono Black's the thing. Mono Black aggro is really good. Mono Red's good. I mean, you have such good color combinations.
Yeah, they are really pushing that mono colored thing. I think the only color that looks kind of weak in mono right
green.
now. No, green's actually solid.
Green's good, but it's better paired with white.
It is. That green giant. That's fun to say. The green giant. He costs like 3. He's insanely good
For sure.
But the white one, there's the white legendary creature is just not as good as the other ones.
Yeah.
And the blue one, I feel like that was a modern card. Like, he's got okay stats. He's a 3/3 for 3, but he has an X attached to him. But I don't know. We'll see. I think that they're kind of getting away from this multicolored thing, and they're going to be going more towards a play monocolored decks or play decks of mostly one color. But I don't think they're going to ever do away completely with gold cards because they're trying to make Brawl a thing.
Oh, for sure, bro. I mean, and that's going to be a good format. I'm excited.
I am too. It's basically, I wouldn't say fair Commander, but at least it's a format for people who don't have a lot of money to buy cards. And if they finally start supporting this format, because you can go out and buy one of their Brawl decks for like $20 or something like that, and on Arena it's awesome because you only need one copy of any of the cards to play.
Yeah, and it's gonna be hit or miss. I mean, curious to see what happens tomorrow. Curious what happens in the gaming world with, Google and stuff. It's gonna be a crazy next few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting there as we head in through the finish up the Halloween season.
We spent so much time on Google today. I didn't think we were going to spend that much
We
time.
spend a lot of time on Google, and that's okay. I'm all right with that because we just going to talk about it.
I would say it's the big thing, and that's
it's relevant.
It's a nerd thing, and that's what nerds do.
And it's relevant. And as the launch gets closer, and we hear more details, we'll probably talk about it more. But I'm gonna try and save some of that for when it actually launches.
Yeah, don't want to hype it up too much.
No, because I really want it to be good, and I'm hoping, beyond everything that I can hope for, that this leads to the eventual buy a game once, play it anywhere you want.
Hey, we're in the end game. That's all that matters. You want to do the recap today?
Sure. Jason says, you talked about it enough that you made me buy it. And for that, sir, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Google will be writing me my check for 48 cents later today.
48 cents?
I sold one.
Man, you get so much
I sold
extra
one,
money.
and then he sold one. So let's see. Recap. Fortnite's back.
And it's good. A lot of people came back.
Heard it's good. They still got those terrible giant robots.
Nope, gone.
Okay, so the robots are gone.
It's basically like they took it back to when the game first came out.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool. There's
League of Legends.
League of Legends is
Riot Games is
Worlds is still going on. So group stages. I don't know the current status of NA because NA's last hope was Team Liquid, which I'll look it up for you guys right now as you're continuing the recap.
So Riot Games is going to be putting out some real-time strategy, first-person shooters, and some other stuff, so that they actually can pluralize that games on their name. Horror movies coming in and out. We're still trying to get caught up on that. We talked about Stadia a lot.
Yeah,
we talked about that for a minute. We talked about Magic for a minute. We talked about porn for a while, which I'm not even really sure how we got on that topic. But
OnlyFans, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I think that's it. Witcher 3. Go buy it on Switch if you have not bought it, and if you have a PS4 or a good PC, go buy it.
Yeah.
And this kind of went back to that original point of what, especially for the people watching, what is one gaming franchise that's not a sequel, that has shattered records and stuff that was a brand new IP. I can't think of one for a long time other than Fortnite, and before that was probably Minecraft.
PUBG.
I mean shattered records.
Oh, then
I mean like on the same scale as
probably H1Z1 because that was that was the first game that ever came out that was like a battle royale that basically took what people wanted from DayZ to make the map go closer to where you actually saw people and whatever. I think that.
So, yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at right now. It's all sequels because we were talking about how there hasn't been a lot of really exciting... Not lately, but Spider-Man. But it's not really a new game. I mean, it's...
No, that's not a new game.
The engine was new. It was sweet. Great game. God of War. I mean, we've had good games. It's just we're in that weird lull time between holiday and non-holiday, right?
I would say, yeah, it's like off-season.
So just wait. As we get closer to November, you're going to see more stuff like the new Pokemon's coming out in November.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited for that.
It's going to be a beautiful game. I love Pokemon. And
you're actually going to play your Switch now, huh? Gonna
try.
You got to get it from your significant other's hands, though, because she's probably going to be trying to catch them all, too.
It's all right. As long as you don't catch chlamydia. Because that's bad. Because you will get chlamydia and you will die.
All right, well, I think that's about it. I feel like that covered everything.
Those two nerds. What about Second Breakfast?
Episode
12.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the likes, comments. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Send us comments. Send us questions on our Facebooks, our Twitters, our whatevers. If you have a question for me or him or us or things you'd like to see, let us know.
Yeah, and hey, we did it. 3 months anniversary today from starting the podcast when we thought we were only going to do like one episode and quit. But we didn't quit. Julia with the like. Appreciate it. Actually,
did you kill my stream window over there?
No.
You did, though.
Nope. No, don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's gone. You killed it. It's fine. I'm still in the air. You don't need that open once it's open, so it's fine.
This guy's complaining about nothing.
Thanks for the like, Julia.
Yep.
Yeah, send us comments. Send us questions. Send us whatever you'd like to see.
Yep.
This is the new time, Sundays at 4. So if you're still, I feel like we've had less viewers since we've been on this time. We might have to maybe switch it up and maybe go back to evenings, maybe Sunday evening. I don't know.
I think people are watching the football games.
Yeah, I mean, it is football season. So
everybody's comparing their fantasy.
But yeah, seriously, keep the comments and stuff coming.
Tell your friends. Tell your grandmothers. Tell everybody.
We're actually, we've toyed around with the idea. I don't know that we'll actually do it. We want to play Dungeons and Dragons.
On stream.
And we've never done it. I don't know how interesting it will be to do that. And I don't want to do it with a lot of people.
It needs to be like 4.
Maybe 4 max, counting me.
So 3 players.
So about maybe 3 or 4 players max. Is that something that you guys would be interested in watching and or participating in? Because I'm sure I can probably get a couple players to do it.
Yep, drop the comments and everything like that, and we'll definitely get into it.
And if not, we won't. See how easy that works? We give you what you want.
We give you what the viewers want. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Yep.
Like I said, 3-month anniversary, episode 12. What about Second Breakfast? We're actually gonna go grab Second Breakfast right now
It's actually in the form of first dinner.
And it's called the T-Bell.
T-Bell.
I miss their song, the Dime song.
Yeah.
85, 95,
Well, it's
99.
not relevant now, but
no, they don't have anything.
They had a number 1 hit for a minute, you know.
It was so good.
Pretty sweet.
But appreciate it so much, guys.
Like, subscribe, follow. I'm on. He's on the Twitch over there, and I'm on the Facebook over here. Like us, follow us, share us, do all that cool stuff. Till next week, guys.
Stay spooky.
Spooky time's over.
Bye.